Yesterday, I jerked off 8 times to porn, ordered Domino's pizza, and played video games. That's all I did. I don't know if you've ever worked on something for weeks or months and the smallest little thing goes wrong. And it was the one thing that I was actually passionate about, that was actually productive, that I actually felt like it was going somewhere in my life. I've been working on a dating app for introverts for the past 2 or 3 months. Made my landing page, I made a couple posts, I had a couple hundred signups. I was like, wow, this is actually going somewhere. Maybe I can actually do something with this. Maybe it's not such a dumb idea. I submitted it to the App Store. Okay, got the feedback, resubmitted it. And they were just like, no, this is too generic. I was like, it's not too generic. You know what I mean? I have really specific features that are not in any other dating app. I tested probably 10, 20, 30, 40 different apps. It's not there. Resubmitted it, and then they didn't even watch the video, right? I sent them a demo as they requested. They didn't even watch the video. So I resubmitted it again, but I don't think you can. And it just, I worked so hard on that app, and I think it looks so great. I was so excited because not only was it gave me something to do every single day that I was actually passionate about, that didn't make me hate the world, that kind of gave me purpose. And it was also going to help me get a career in tech, because then I could be a designer and I would have experience testing it with other people, which I kind of did. And I was just really excited to share it with my friends and show I wasn't a piece of total crap. And they just flat out freaking rejected it and just gave me the generic message. And I was just so hurt by it, because I'd worked so many weeks and months, and just for someone to send me a generic message is just, it's just such a shitty fucking feeling. And I've always felt so okay, bad people deserve bad things, or people who are going through bad times probably deserve it. And now I'm like, holy shit, I've just had such a narrow view on life. There's so much evil in this world, so many bad things in this world. And I'm so, I should be so thankful for what I do have. And it's I'm not happy anymore. I have nothing to live for. Literally nothing. Everything makes me unhappy. I hate the stuff I'm learning in school. I hate coding. It's the most terrible thing ever. I get it's productive, but it's what is it even being productive for? Most of these software engineers work for some thing who the whole purpose of it is to make their users as addicted, as paralyzed, as helpless as possible, so that they'll just come back more and more and more and waste more and more and more of their life and become more and more addicted. And they just want to code stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, what are you even coding for, dude? I feel like the purpose of life is not to sit there and freaking tinker with a computer all day. What are you even, what's even your mission or accomplish, and now it's just I feel like every career today, technology isn't even about advancing human civilization. It's not even about improving people's lives. When the internet first happened and you could communicate with people around the world, that's amazing. That's incredible. But now it's okay, let's play Roblox. Let's give Roblox to our kids all day and seriously mess up their frontal cortex and their brain. And let's seriously make them mentally ill, so that way we can control them and get as much money as we can from them. It just feels like every career nowadays, if you're not working a simple career, or maybe you open a restaurant, or you live on a farm, or you're doing something very simple, it's most likely very, very degenerate. You are probably ruining people's lives. Not to mention you're supporting an economy that's doing terrible things to other countries. So it's just like I feel so helpless, so lost, and it's like I'm at the point where it's like I'm not Mother Teresa. I have to contribute to the society. I have to make a decent living. I just want a 2-bedroom house in Florida. That's all I want. That's all I want right now in life. And it's like I have nothing. Like I don't even think I'm gonna be able to do it because of the mobile app. Now I don't have anything to show on my portfolio. I was like so excited about that mobile app too. So freaking excited. I had been working on it every freaking day. It was the only thing that made me happy, that I was proud of, that I was actually excited about, that wasn't completely just, me playing video games and wasting my life, right? It was actually productive. And now I'm just like out of things to live for because my family, I cannot stand them. My mom's been all right. And I'm going to actually, I think maybe in a few days, just tell her, like, hey, I'm gay. Maybe it will be the thing I need. Maybe it will give me that mental rest. And if they don't like it and stop talking to me, I don't think my mom will, but maybe my dad will. Maybe it's for the better because I feel like I've just put up with so much toxicity and so many wrong things in my life for so long. And now that I'm like a fully developed adult, it's like, okay, now it's my time to like live my own way. You know what I mean? So I don't have my family to live for. My sister told her like I was more into dudes, and she drove all the way from Virginia to Florida, right through Georgia, where I live, and did not want to visit me with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend doesn't like gay people. Her boyfriend hates gay people. Her boyfriend is extremely homophobic. So it's pretty obviously why she didn't want to stop by and say hello. My little brother, we just never talk. He reached out a couple months ago randomly, like, hey, how do you like make money dog sitting, dog walking? Of course, I'm just like super kind, and I tell him like all of my best tips and tricks. And then no responses after that. He just like doesn't fucking talk to me, doesn't respect me, thinks I look like an F slur. So I have just nothing to live for, no family to live for. Maybe my mom, that's about it. I need to buy a house in Florida. I have a rare skin condition, and the best place I can be is warm, humid weather. I grew up in Virginia. It wasn't the worst, but humidity was pretty low, especially in the winters, and my skin just freaked out. People would bully me for it when I was younger. For literally no reason, they would call me giraffe skin. And there was just nothing I could do about it other than I had to be witty, funny, kind, and constantly put on a performance, or people just wouldn't talk to me just because of the way I looked. And I had to grow up my whole life there. My parents never fucking considered moving to Florida or like somewhere where I'd actually be able to like live a healthy, happy life. I'm sure it could be worse, but like, I don't know, dude. I'm really sick of kind of saying that because I feel like people are just not taking, like when I wake up every day and my skin's burning, or when I wake up and go to school and get bullied and then come home and get bullied, it's just like, you know, it's not something that everyone goes through. No one goes through this rare skin condition called ichthyosis vulgaris. It's like, a fraction of a percent. Not everyone goes through that. I go through most struggles I share most struggles with other people, but there's things in my life that I don't share or relate to other people about at all. And they just will never fucking understand, dude. Which is it's fine. Again, like at least I have my limbs. At least I can walk. Like there's worse people, but it's like it's a small fraction. And thinking about that, it's not positive. It doesn't get me anywhere, but it's like, okay, I need to do what's best for me. And what's best for me is moving to Florida. And it's like, I can't even get like the jobs are disappearing, dude. All of the jobs are just disappearing. So many ghost applications. And then I'm gonna have to explain to like a recruiter where it's like, I haven't worked in the last year and a half or 2 years. Instead, I tried pursuing an acting career. I got an agent. I got like one really good commercial, but that was it. I bit off way more than I could chew in LA, bought an expensive or leased an expensive apartment. Should have gotten roommates, should have just been humble. I was humbled, don't worry. But I was off doing an acting career that failed. I was just way too nervous all the time, got humiliated so many times. I got really far in my photography career really, really quick. I had zero experience acting, zero experience photography, just went out and did it. But I bit off way more than I could chew, and then I was also trying to do my master's at the same time. It was just way too much, way too fast. I don't know why I would ever put myself through that. I'm never putting myself through that again. And then I'm trying to do my master's, and my stupid app can't get published to the app store. So now I'm like really just fed up and screwed. And without a tech job, I'm never going to be able to afford a house in Florida. South Florida. I can't live in North Florida. It gets too cold in the winters. So now I'm like I have nothing to live for. I'm never going to be able to live like a decent life because of my health conditions. I'm never going to be able to afford a house unless I work for some tech company. And that tech company, the only thing they're after is as much money as possible. Like most tech companies, the biggest flex they have is like people forgetting to cancel their subscription, I feel like. I'm so sick of like forgetting to cancel my Netflix subscription, not using it for a month or two, and then asking for a refund and then being like, looking at you like you're crazy. Well, I think Netflix is pretty good about it, but like most tech companies are not. Like they straight up refuse it. I shouldn't, if I haven't used your service, then you should refund me. And if you don't want to refund people, then make it so it doesn't auto fucking renew by the default. Stop preying on people to like cancel their fucking subscription. It just feels like there's no tech businesses left to support anymore. And there's like this whole like just culture, this like venture capital culture. Maybe it's just in America, but it's like a whole culture where it's not even about solving problems or like your passion. Most of these people don't even use their own products. It's just like, how can I control and make them addicted as possible to my app and make as much money as possible? Like, why can't we just focus on making the best service possible? Why are we focusing on making the most money from people and getting the most out of other people? How about we focus on like letting people get the most out of our service? Like, dude, like I'm not just gonna sit here and rant all fucking day. But anyway, I have nothing to live for. I give up on everything. I never would have thought I would get here. I've always been positive. I've always come up with ideas. I've always, thought about ways I could work out things in my life. I've tried so many different careers. I've tried so hard. Nothing sticks. I try to learn things and I never get better at things. So I guess I'm just cooked. I have nothing else to live for in my life. So.